Hello and welcome to Parkview Radio. This summer we've got some special guests joining us at Parkview Radio and running a series of special videos. This week we will be looking at ladies football and TV broadcasting as we will be joined by Tanya Bushell, Gary Bushell and Mike McLean. Now Tanya Bushell started playing football in the 80s when she was picked by a primary school. Now this was very unheard of back in the 1980s, so the story made her local newspaper. She went on to play for Crowborough Women's Football Club and even Charlton Ladies, and even had a few games for Wales, her international country. Unfortunately in 2001 Tanya broke her ankle and had to retire from football, and she's now CEO of Bexley Deaf Centre, a great organisation that works with all deaf young people across the borough of Bexley. Here's what she had to say when we caught up with her. Hi, this is Lee for Parkview Radio. I'm here with Tanya Bushell. Thanks for joining us.
No problem at all.
So you started playing football really at a time when women really didn't play football. How did you break into that?
Well, where I lived, in the street I lived, all the boys would be out in the street playing football all the time. And you just sort of got sucked into it. So I always used to be playing football with them. And then when I was at school, used to play with all the boys at school. Then couldn't understand why I couldn't get into the team. Why we, everyone expected the girls to play netball and the boys to play football. Eventually, I had a really good sports teacher at school. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to get in the team, Tanya." It was that unusual. It made it in the local paper. And they made a big thing about my mum having to wash a football kit instead of a netball kit and all that kind of stuff. And now, you think back now, you think, oh God, that would have, it's nothing like that now. And I think, I love the fact that women's football has built momentum up, and now we're at such a good level and we can compete across the world. And young girls who want to get into football have got people to look up to, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I struggled. I played for Charlton Ladies, and I was selected to play for Wales, a couple of games for B team, the Welsh national side. So I have played a bit of national football in my time, international football. So yeah, that's football's always been a part of my life. So it's.
And how do you think the standard, as you said, like sort of nearly on it's not really on an equal plane, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
How do you think like people like yourself have introduced that? Do you feel like you helped bring that forward?
I think I'd like to think that any woman who started playing football sort of pre-1990s was part of that crusade, We were all trying to wave the flag for women's football, and I think we have got to the point now where people take it seriously. Men enjoy watching it as much as women. And
I went to an FA Cup final a couple of years ago and it was an outstanding game.
Yeah, I mean, and the quality, it's superb. It was not like that when we played, but it's like anything. Obviously, we've progressed. We can now compete against some of the top teams in the world. USA were always really, really good. Germany and even Japan and places like that. We can compete on an even sort of keel, and it's really, really encouraging, I think. It's really, really good time for women's football.
Definitely.
I'm a chief exec of another charity in the borough. I look after all the deaf and hard of hearing people in the borough, chief exec of Bexley Deaf Centre. We're really lucky in the London Borough of Bexley because all the voluntary sector, we all come together, we all work together.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Right, now we're moving to the world of TV broadcasting. Our next guest is Gary Bushell. Gary Bushell has been a newspaper journalist for nearly 30 years now. Back in the 90s, also quite a popular TV personality, appearing on all kinds of programmes like Noel's House Party.
Final verdicts. Over 50,000 calls have been coming in. What's it going to be? Let's see. Whoever gets the most calls is going for a most enjoyable car ride. Would you like to set him on his way?
It's time for the lottery now.
Sorry, Gary.
I'd continue driving if I were you guys.
That's most kind of you to vote. Thank you for all those. Thank you for all those calls, and I hope you've enjoyed the party this week. We'll have another Crinkly Bottom speaks. It's just the lovely plop, plop, plop that I'm enjoying. I want to stay on the air all night now and just replenish it and just keep it trickling through. Oh, hang on. Oh, I think you're going to have to go. Yes. Oh, what a shame. No, you can't go. You can't go.
He had his show called Gary on the Box, where he reviewed TV programmes. Nowadays, Gary still writes columns for the Sun newspaper. Hi, it's Lee for Parkview Radio here, and I'm here with a journalist, TV presenter, everything really, Tanya Bushell. So how did it all start with you, like journalism and stuff?
Well, really, it started on the rock press. I was on Sounds music paper from 1978 on, so I was there when it got really exciting. You'd had punk, and then you had two-tone come through, and mod, and then new wave of British heavy metal, oi and punk, street punk and all that sort of stuff. Stuffing was happening all the time. And you could go out every night and see something new and something worth seeing. I remember seeing U2 used to come and drink with us before they got signed up up in Covent Garden. But I remember seeing the Specials on their first ever gig. That's how good it was, you know. You just going out and seeing fantastic bands all the time.
And how do you think like the music scene and media in general has changed over the last 20, 30 years?
Two different questions really. In some ways it's never been easier for a band to get their music out there, but it's never been harder for them to get heard. Yeah, that's the problem. Could you put it on, unless you've got some way of promoting it, who's going to know about it? So that's the good thing is the power of the record companies has diminished. You can actually do it yourself, but you have to have a strategy. You have to have a really good plan. You have to be able to work out how you can get known about is what is probably. But the newspaper industry is obviously dying now. They're dying slowly.
It's all online now.
Death of 1,000 cuts it is. But well, that's it. They've been overtaken by online. Everyone, you go to a newspaper conference now, and they're all worried about what Twitter is saying about things. You know, it's a different world from the one we grew up in. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Right, thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you. Now, that was a great interview there with Gary. Next, we're going to move on to Mike Squeaky McLean. Now, Mike was a comedian back in the 90s and early 2000s, where he was seen and picked up by Nickelodeon and started presenting children's TV. After that, he was picked up by a show called The Big Breakfast, which was Channel 4's version of Good Morning TV. After Big Breakfast, Mike went on to Richard and Judy and a host of other things. He's still very passionate about his comedy.
Astounded by the memory of Mike McLean.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Please. Save it for the end, I've got a week finish. I'm going to do a little bit of mind reading now. I need somebody with a sense of humour. The gentleman there, that's what, fashion for comfort. You, sir, give him a big round of applause. He comes on stage, give him a big round of applause. Nice to meet you. Do you want to stand over there? That's it, where the trapdoor is. Lovely. I can tell you got a lot of money. You don't spend it on your clothes, do you? What's your name? Paul. Paul, correct. What I want you to do is think of a holiday. I just want you to think of where you're going on a holiday, anywhere in the world that you'd like to go, and just think that you're going to go there now. Where would you go?
Florida.
Florida. OK. There we go. Now, going to Florida, you have to take some money with you. OK, and I can tell, like I said, you've got a lot of money. How much would you take with you to Florida?
£10,500.
£10,500.
It's a long holiday.
It better be a long holiday. Right, I'll put £10,500. I don't know, £1,000. Oh, I don't know. £10,500. Oh, wait, have you got a mobile?
Yes.
OK, think of the last four numbers of that mobile phone. Get them in your head. Have you got it?
Yep.
OK, you've got the last four numbers of your mobile phone.
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
0332.
0332. Behind me is a box. Now, you've probably seen that box. It's been there throughout the whole of this little demonstration of mind reading. All I'm going to do is going to take that there and place it on here. Now, inside here is something that's very special. If I open up this like that, you'll see that I have got, if we can just get it out, there it is, a tube. A tube. Inside there is a piece of paper. If you can just take out your clean hand Your other one. Nope, you were right the first time. Just take out there. That's it. Open it up. That's lovely. And all I want you to do is read out what it says.
Mike McLean.
Whoa, that's me. I've come a long way for that. Go on, you do the rest.
Predicts that a member of the audience will choose holiday.
Yeah, you said Florida, I said...
Florida.
No.
Money, £10,500.
Last 4 numbers of your mobile.
0332.
And yours is 0332.
Hi, it's Lee from Parkview Radio, and I'm here with Mike Squeaky McLean. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
You're not too bad. A lot of our older listeners and viewers might recognise Mike from The Big Breakfast, TV broadcaster. Mike also does a lot of comedy. So first of all, we start off with TV broadcasting. How did you get into that?
I started at a channel called Nickelodeon, just presented there for a few years. Then I wrote a show called Mad for It, which went on ITV. And then I just got offered The Big Breakfast, and I took it, and from there I did that, and then went on to Richard and Judy. Just stayed in telly, really.
Was Big Breakfast as crazy as it looked?
Yeah, it was a hard show, really. It was a difficult show to present, difficult to work on, and it was just, it was manic. It was it was what it looked like. So it was a good show, though. It was a great show to do.
And what's the dangers with live TV? What's like anything that's gone wrong for you on live TV, or?
There was a woman who had a Jordanaire vase, and on the live broadcast, one of the producers picked it up. And there was only ever 500 made, 250 went to America, 250 in England. The Queen had one, and he picked it up, and the base of it just dropped and smashed on the floor. So that was where that went wrong.
And you now do a lot of stand-up as well. What brought you into comedy?
I've always done comedy before I did telly. I was always did stand-up, so I did I used to go around and do the stand-up. So I've just gone back to it now, and it's really good. It's interesting.
And what's your main passion, TV or stand-up?
Stand-up all day long. You just get in, do the gig, out you go, and then whereas telly, there's a lot of waiting around, a lot of hanging around, and you have to film it again. Whereas once you do stand-up, you're just on a stage, you do your bit, it's just you, 500-600 people that you've got to make laugh, and then that's it. You can get in the car and back home.
Okay, and what advice would you give to our young people who want to get into TV broadcasting?
I'd just say, look, everybody's got a camera phone now and everybody's got a video on it. I'd just go on and film something and make it funny, or I'd just go out and film no longer than a 2-minute piece and just be different. Don't copy anybody. Just be you, be different, and have a little niche market that you're good at, that you can do that nobody else does. You know, if it's cooking, if it's selling houses, if it's, something like that. Make sure you're different from somebody else.
And is that the same advice you give for the stand-up as well, or is that a bit different?
No, the stand-up, again, just don't copy anybody, don't pinch material, just write your own stuff and go out and be completely different. Everybody wants to see somebody different. You don't want to see somebody that's a version of somebody else,
Well, thanks for your time today and good luck today. Cheers, thank you. That's it for us this week. I hope you enjoyed it. With us next week for another summer special. Bye for now.